Right, okay, so dyno results with various things that we've got fitted to the bike, with our exhaust systems. We've got our SP engineering cans, and we've got our link pipes, and we've got our front pipes on this bike as well, but we've done various testing with various different components on it, airbox modifications as well, which we're going to be showing people soon enough. And we've got some results. Very pleased overall. The bike performs a lot better. If you just have, I've got some charts here, and we'll be doing some, these just two of many. It's spent a long time, many hundreds of miles on the dyno, and yeah, she's had a bit of a hard time, but she's come through it. We've got all of our tunes done now to match all of the different components that we do, and some new excuse me, prototype components we've got coming as well. And so we can upload those for people. We just need your ECU. We can upload that as an encrypted file and send it back to you, and you can plug it in and you're good to go, and we can match that to our components that we've got. Basically, you are looking the two basic options from standard. The base settings on any dyno can vary depending on temperature, humidity, blah blah blah. So we're looking at the increased gains of what it is we're actually getting here. So ignoring any baselines, the first option would be effectively you would change the slip-on exhaust. So you'd put the can and the link pipe on, and that's your lot. That would get you around 1.2 to 1.4 brake horsepower increase. That is, there are some people claiming some slightly larger figures than that, but at no point did we find anything near like that with just those, just that changes, and effectively an end can. And it was run through not just this can, we ran various different cans, we ran some different manufacturers' cans on there as well, just double check, and you know, so we've got you know, some sort of clarity to the results that we were getting. And yeah, you're talking 1.2 to 1.4 brake horsepower, not really a huge gain in torque. There is a benefit, a small benefit for fitting a air filter, but you're talking 0.2 of a horsepower. So anyone claiming that you can just put an air filter in there and it makes a massive difference to the bike, or a good difference to the bike, it doesn't. You're talking 0.2 horsepower gain for a freer flowing air filter on its own. You need to combine a few of these things together to get a better result out of it. So on to the better results. Slip-on can with a tune and an air filter, and with that you're looking at about a gain of 3.8 to 4.1 horsepower, again dependent on a few various differences on cans, but we've mapped all of that out to match the various can options and air filter options that we've got and got coming as well, because we don't want to have to revisit all of this again. So we've done it all in one hit, which is why it's taken a bit of time. And then the biggest gain, full decat front pipes, and that's an increase in tube diameter, as well as getting rid of the catalytic converter. That is impressive. The figures don't really, on paper, I'll pop these up as well as a graphic, but the figures, when you actually ride this bike with this full exhaust system in, and the full tune and our air filter modifications as well, is dramatic. You know, for over standard, we saw some impressive gains. That it is possible, but what we've done with all of our tunes, we've taken them on a safe zone. So we could have got more, but we haven't. We've sort of reined it back in a little bit, and yeah. So you've got you've still got decent and reasonable fuel economy, and you've got longevity in your engine, and you're within a nice, safe, comfortable zone in all of the parameters. At some points we were hitting almost 10 horsepower increase, and that's just not safe, not sustainable for the engine. We then brought it down to around, we then altered a few tunes, this is for the full system. We then brought it down to around 7.5 to 8 horsepower, and even that was a little bit borderline. So we are in at 7 horsepower again for the full system. We've gained, it works out about sort of 5.5, 6 pound-foot torque increase, and that's smoothed out the power delivery completely all the way through. Now the slightly snatchy throttle at the beginning, it's still there to a certain extent. It's a lot better than it was. We can get rid of it completely, but it has a detrimental effect on other parts of the tune. So we took the view that we would leave a little bit in there, and because it's not really that noticeable anymore, only if you really sort of try to make it happen. But it's a very good compromise in the entire situation, in the entire system, and for the power and the torque gains that we've got in that, it's a very good compromise. It's worth doing. But it is there ever so slightly. We're still working on a couple of other components to get rid of it a little bit more for the people that do find it being a problem. But overall, very pleased. We'll pop up some, like I say, we'll pop up some graphics for the tunes themselves and what's possible. It pulls like a train now. 3rd, 4th, and 5th gear, particularly. I'll have to do a video, obviously, on closed roads. It's impressive. Now, it was an impressive bike beforehand, and with all of the things that we're doing here for this bike, at no point are we trying to claim this is a bad bike or things that you have to change. These are things that are, in our view, worth doing, and they enhance the bike more, which is what we try and do with all of these items. So yeah, we've got decent torque increases, decent power increases, kept some good fuel economy out of it as well, without going too mad with that, and she's a lot freer revving, a lot more drive in the mid-range, to the point where we're looking at changing the gearing now as well to utilise that. That'll be the next stage of what we do. But there's a big long list of things that we need to do and want to do. But yeah, that's where we are at the moment, and we shall upload some details of some costings for various different bits and pieces within this, and the availability when we're going to have it ready. And yeah, so we'll get back to you all soon with that. Cheers.